Hello and welcome to the Pastor's Studies. You know, there are many things in life that we look to others to learn from, we look to others to follow. You know, I have often thought about my father and the things that he's taught me and the example that he was in many areas that I see have been incorporated into my life. He was an example for me to follow. Well, Paul talks about being that example, and he says, join in following my example. Paul places him out there to say, I'm an example that you could follow. Now, Paul wasn't being arrogant or prideful because Paul was striving diligently to follow Christ. And if you wound up following Paul's example, you were following Christ, because that's what he's talking about. Not look like Paul, not become a little Paul, but become like Paul in following Christ. He says that he has warned us. There are those out there that do not live and do not walk in a way that we should be following them. And Paul says they bring a lot of grief, and they bring a lot of grief into his heart. He says he's weeping for them because when he looks at their lives, he sees that the pattern that they lay out there is not a pattern of following Christ, but it's a pattern that denotes that they are destructive. The attitude and the appetite that they have is, look at me, look at me. It's one that brings destruction, and their mind is not set on the heavenly but on the earthly. And Paul is giving this warning, and it's a warning that I would give to myself and to all of us. When you are looking for someone to follow, to be your hero, look for ones that are following Christ. Those that are living a godly life. Those that are incorporating into their life the scriptures. And when you go to them, they take you to the examples of the scriptures. They're not saying, I've arrived, I've got it all together. What they're saying is, like Paul, I'm not arrived, but if we keep on the mark of following Christ, we'll get there together. That's a man to follow. That's a person to follow. I trust that you have godly examples to follow in your life. And watch the scriptures. Until next time in the Pastor's Study, goodbye and may God bless.